After the Day of the Dead festival, the government suddenly issued an emergency warning. Recently, people who visited graves suffered headaches and high fevers. They were told to register immediately at nearby hospitals. At 8 p.m., my mother was on duty at the hospital. She suddenly sent me a photo. It was our family photo taken after we visited the cemetery yesterday. In the empty space behind the group, a tall black figure appeared. Then my mother sent a message saying the hospital was full of patients. Outside the hospital used to have many streetlights and shops. It should have been brightly lit. But now, before Nuanum, everything was pitch black. There was even fog. Only the hospital still had lights on. My mother immediately felt something was wrong. She did not dare to move forward. The crowd started panicking. Why was it dark now when it was bright earlier? Could it be a blackout? How could there be a blackout with electricity at the hospital? And why was there fog at night? Should we call the police? Call the police now. People tried to call, but phones showed no signal. Some brave people used flashlights to walk into the darkness. There was silence all around. After a few minutes, a terrible scream pierced the night. Then a second scream, then a third, followed by beastly growls and sounds of bones breaking. Some who had entered the darkness started running back. The crowd became chaotic again. The bald security captain ordered the main gate to be locked to prevent unknown creatures from attacking. Inside, everyone was terrified, unaware of what happened. Those who ran back from the dark suddenly remembered something. They turned to Erwin and said they saw blood and clothes in the darkness. The deaths resembled Erwin's parents' deaths. Could Erwin have brought some strange thing here? They accused him of knowing something. Erwin was confused. Nearby, people did not believe it. They said Erwin's parents were killed by a strange creature. Maybe it was coming for him too. The captain, who came later, had not seen the video of Erwin's parents. He asked what kind of thing it was. Erwin showed the video. The captain could not recognize it. Others said only something strange could cause such events. Erwin blushed and did not know what to say. My father said the video was from a village far away. Even if there were monsters in the village, they could not chase so far. Others could not argue and stop bothering Erwin. Erwin thanked my father. My father said we were all from the same hometown and should help each other. Now, Surintuo, everyone was trapped in the hospital. Not knowing what to do, my mother suddenly touched my father. He understood and walked to a quiet place. My mother said she felt something was watching us. My father frowned and took a selfie. Sure enough, many dark shadows surrounded us. The captain told everyone to enter the dining hall, surrounded by walls and tempered glass. For safety, the captain inspected outside. We heard him say there were claw marks on nearby walls. 2 guards rushed to check. We heard noises of a fierce fight. After 10 minutes, the captain returned from near the water pipes. Erwin approached to ask what happened. I noticed Erwin's walking changed. He was hopping, feet never touching ground at the same time. His pants rose to reveal thick red hair on his ankles. I looked trembling at my father. I felt Erwin was no longer human, but a monster wearing Erwin's skin. I remembered his parents had died long ago. My father looked at Erwin and trembled. He muttered we were probably dead too. I was scared by his possessed look. Then the hospital lights went out again. Sharp claws scratched the floor everywhere. My eardrums felt like they would shatter. Everyone was terrified and started screaming to run. My father shouted to stay inside, saying they were trying to create panic to kill us one by one. But people ran outside anyway. The number of people inside the hospital grew fewer. We followed the crowd. After entering darkness, the group scattered. Only my family, Erwin, and 5 strangers remained. The fewer the people, the bolder the creature. The situation was dangerous. My father shouted to stay together and move closely. If we separated, no one would survive. Screams and howls echoed all around. Everyone agreed with my father. But it was pitch dark, and no one knew the safe direction. 5 kilometers west should be a police station. Someone suggested running there for help. The crowd agreed and ran toward that direction. Halfway, my father counted aloud. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10. We were 9. Who was the 10th? A man carrying a flashlight and using it to shine behind us was the 10th. He said he got separated earlier and was scared. So he followed us. It was a false alarm, but people realized danger and ran faster. After half an hour, we saw light. Everyone rushed toward it wildly. My mother asked my father for his opinion. He said the police station was safer to spend the night. The next day, we could buy tickets to leave. My father said he would call a taxi first. The taxi smelled strange but seemed safe. He ordered the driver to turn on hazard lights and honk when arriving. After that, though there were scattered people, I felt something was watching me. Why was everyone burning paper? The Day of the Dead was a week ago. Sometimes people passing by smiled at us strangely. The city felt very strange. I looked at my father. Something was wrong. Not just wrong, very wrong. My father asked if I noticed. I thought for a moment. It was only 11 p.m. The street should not be so deserted. There was no wind, but there had been strong wind earlier to the hospital. I looked around sharply. Indeed, no wind and strange silence. Though people were around, there was no sound. Before we could think, the taxi arrived. The driver urged us to get in quickly. My father stared at the driver. The driver shouted urgently to hurry. My father tried a secret code. The driver ignored it and kept urging us. When we did not get in, he cursed and left. 1 minute later, an identical taxi appeared. Same license and driver. This time, the driver turned on hazard lights and honked. My father frowned and muttered, something was wrong. My mother and I did not understand what happened. Then Erwin shouted, run or one in one home. Run. We saw a terrifying black shadow behind him. It was the monster from the photo. After a heavy snowfall in 2023, the government issued a warning. All citizens must immediately board up all windows with wooden planks. At night, no one should open the door for anyone. Since then, a knocking sound occurs precisely at midnight. It continues until 6 in the morning. Everyone who breaks this rule disappears. Every night, I hear my mother's voice outside my door. Son, open the door. Time is running out. If you don't escape, you will die.
以上内容
This
来
is
自一
from
本
a
奇怪的
strange
日记。
diary. The writing looks printed. It records a disaster caused by a year-long snow from late 2023 to late 2024. But now it is December 7th, 2024. No one in the world has ever experienced a year-long snow. I began to study the diary carefully. On December 14th, 2023, the university had been open for a week. The government repeatedly broadcast the strange rule. All citizens must board up windows and not open doors at night. Do not trust anyone outside the door. No one knows why we must follow this rule. At midnight, knocking starts on doors. Then a global blackout happens. Those who break the rule disappear. No one knows where they go. A few days ago, my mother could not resist and went outside. But she did not disappear. She comes to knock every night. Papam, open the door. Time is running out. If you don't escape, you will die. Why time is running out? Why would not opening the door cause death? I am curious but afraid to open the door. I don't want to disappear. Strangely, my nickname is Da Bao too. I am from a single-parent family. My mother has not disappeared. It has not snowed in my city. I continued reading the diary. On January 18, 2024, the university had lasted for more than a month. More people caught a cold. We still had to attend classes. Many classmates were absent. Even the math teacher did not come today. He was always punctual, even for gym class. I guess he never will come again. Today, I met a madman on the street. He held a sign that said, "The world is fake." We are fake. He pulled people to join him to another world. It was terrifying. I wonder how many will go crazy. On February 18, 2024, it was not an ordinary cold. Many sick students did not attend class. I learned they went blind overnight. Doctors found no reason. It was frightening. How inconvenient to be blind in school. I saw a poor man frozen to death. No one helped him. People used to be kind. The cold can freeze hearts too. On February 19, 2024, my mother left home 2 months ago. I missed her. At night, I talked with my mother outside the door. She told me many childhood stories. She mentioned a game we played together. In the game, each city center had a huge furnace. It sounded strange, like a glitch. Was it a hint? The game was called Frozen World. Resources were scarce. The apocalypse came. People's hearts were unpredictable. The protagonist led people to mine ice, chop wood, gather dances, and fight attacks. One must be alert, smart, expand barracks, and send reinforcements. The game was on the lower left corner. You could play without downloading. Type Libama for massive resources. I remembered each city had a big furnace. Could it be connected? On March 2nd, 2024, more people froze to death. The government built a huge furnace downtown. It was hundreds of meters tall. Everyone could see it. The weather became less cold since then. I felt I had seen the furnace somewhere, but forgot. Thinking gave me a headache. Am I sick? Will I go blind? On April 10th, on 2024, I finally went blind. I may not live long in this apocalypse. I planned to open the door and leave with my mother. Strangely, she never knocked again. On June 20th, half a year passed. The world was covered by snow. Everyone was blind. I don't know if anyone can see. Refugees suddenly came to the city. I asked why. They said sharp bird calls haunted their nights. When they heard the calls, people disappeared mysteriously, even if they obeyed rules. I became worried. Things were getting worse. On July 10, 2024, I heard the bird calls. Strangely, my sight recovered. I don't know why. On July 11th, 2024, when I saw clearly, fear attacked me. I saw huge black birds on trees. They were as tall as people. They had human faces. They stood silently, turning like machines. It seemed they watched us. Refugees wore the same clothes. They had a strange logo on the front. I saw that logo somewhere. The diary had a picture of the logo. I was scared because I had that shirt. I flipped pages quickly. Many pages were torn. The text changed to handwriting. It was twisted and chaotic. On November 10th, 2024, I should have noticed. I was stupid. Winter lasted a year. Food should have run out. Where did the food come from? They were blind. How did they survive? On November 30th, 2024, I found all food came from strange shops. No clerks, but endless food. They opened at 8 a.m. Food was always full. I hid and watched. No one replenished food. Did the food grow magically? This world is wrong. It's not just weather. On November 5th, 2024, besides big birds, other things watched us. If I could not see, I would never notice. I must not show fear. I finally knew why everyone was blind. Because those things don't want to be seen. On December 6th, 2024, I was discovered. My head hurt. People look like this. This is my true self. Terrible winter. Terrible snow. I just want to live. If you can still see, better to be blind. Just take a knife and blind yourself. The diary ends here. The rest are strange sketches. They show strange creatures. Suddenly, I felt a headache. My heart felt blocked. I tried to open the window. Snow began falling outside. I never thought the world was fake. In recent years, mental illness seems to be increasing. But have they all really become mentally ill? Before I start, I want to ask you a question. Is Fat Cat really dead? Do not answer too quickly. Think carefully and answer carefully. If you can figure out this question, you may discover the most terrifying truth about this world. My patient number 13 told me, this world is completely fake. To prove this world is fake, it is actually very simple. A fake world is based on data. Where there is data, there will be bugs. He showed me a video. The screen showed a familiar actor, the so-called Fat Cat Chungzu. I have read many novels. I remember his movies well. What about this video? Is Fat Cat dead? There were news reports before he died. It was about ghost actress Roland. He died shortly after.
重新点开了13号给我看的视频，赫然是电影误判开机仪式上，肥猫正则是让出 C 位的画面，这意味着正则是真的没死。电影也不是用 AI 合成的，我点开了评论区，里面的内容也都是大。
2024. Actors included Donnie Yen, Michael Hui, and Chung Zeshi. I frowned. I reopened the video patient 13 showed me. It was from the Misjudgment movie launch. Fat Cat Shozar gave up the center position. This means Jungza really is not dead. The movie is not made with AI. I opened the comment section. Everyone was confused. Isn't Fat Cat dead? I remember he died in 2021, February 27. I even took a screenshot and sent it to my girlfriend. I looked at patient 13, surprised, but I did not want to admit it. Maybe it was the Mandela effect. Patient 13 smiled. You must remember that famous phrase Yuan Fang. What do you think? But I tell you, that phrase never existed. Pikachu's tail has no black stripe. In the show, it is 3 stripes, not 2, not 8 turds. He spoke quickly like crazy. Then he smiled strangely at me. Do you remember the Mandela effect? When and where did it appear? Have you ever felt that someone you knew suddenly becomes strange? I do not know what patient 13 meant. Suddenly I felt confused. I gave patient 13 medicine. Then I left. Patient 13's words were strange and true, but I did not pay much attention. Until I found my wife acting strange. One night when she came home, I looked at her. Suddenly she looked unfamiliar, but she was clearly my wife. I did not know what was happening. Then I received a message on my phone. I opened it strangely. The message was from an article about the uncanny valley effect. It said if you stare at something familiar for too long, you might feel terror. My heart skipped a beat. I realized something was wrong. The phone sent me this message like I remembered something, like the Mandela effect. These things appear to explain strange parts of the world, as if the system found a bug and rushed to fix it. Suddenly a strange idea appeared in my mind. I only needed to touch the red line again. Then the repair system would appear. Maybe I would find something unexpected. At first, I thought this was ridiculous. Only a madman would think this. But I wanted to hear patient 13's opinion. He looked excited. You are at the threshold of the truth. We can make a plan to help you verify everything. We discussed the plan. He explained from a basic theory. He assumed this world is a precise machine. We are insignificant parts in it. The machine repairs broken parts while running. If few parts fail, the machine won't show problems. This period is called vacuum machine. In the vacuum machine, problems are hard to detect. No repair happens until the machine is affected. Then the repair phase begins. All broken parts are repaired. Patient 13 smiled. Vacuum is the only chance to change fate. I did not understand. But if you watch this video, you might understand patient 13. Maybe this is your chance to change life. Suddenly, doctors rushed into my room. They looked at me seriously. They said patient 13's mental state worsens. Report if there is a problem. I nodded. Gave medicine to patient 13. Before leaving, patient 13 gave me a note. It had the plan outline. I thought I was crazy, but I wanted to try the plan. To see if patient 13 was right, I searched on my computer. No great people exist. Great people are fictional. For a month, I looked for posts about great people. Few posts existed. Few people discussed. I posted articles below about testing if my wife is great and my understanding of the world's truth. As patient 13 predicted, the post would disappear, censored as rumors or unsuitable. Patient 13 said this world has allowed logic, but not this topic. It prevents the spread of problem. But this was not enough to believe until something happened. After posting, my wife's behavior changed. She was fixed routine, work, shows, when drama shows. But recently, she changed her one. She wanted to go out, to eat, to movies, and wine, even dates. She wanted a child. Coincidentally, I received content about identifying great people. Notice their fixed behavior patterns. Great people act regularly. If normal logic applies, you might doubt your wife is great, but this world ignores human habits. Habits need long time, but in 2 weeks, my wife changed. Another strange thing, the more I watched her, the stranger she seemed. This matched uncanny valley info. I was sure, some force monitors everyone. If your behavior deviates, it corrects you to prevent truth. I discovered my wife acts normal with others, only changes with me. If this were a system or game, it's easy to understand because changing behavior with others needs big system change. System won't waste resources. It's not afraid I lose control. It can reset me. I am only a slightly disobedient part. Confirming the fake world, I saw a second defense. Cat theory. Sit tight. Now comes the best part. I always suspected this world was fake, until I jumped from the 18th floor. The next morning, I woke up in my own bed. Only then did I confirm it. I told others about my experience. 10 minutes later, a group of people in psychiatric uniforms came for me. They said I knew too much. The company leader approached me secretly. He asked me to confess, "Are you the great man everyone talks about?" I was stunned. He showed me proof, a government manual on identifying great men. I had never heard of it. It was nowhere online either. He typed "great man" on the computer. Many results appeared. The info said great men had invaded Earth. More were found recently. But since they were harmless, the government advised not to expose their identity. I frowned. They thought I matched the standard. Because I disliked eating, my facial features were symmetrical. Hearing this truth overturned my worldview. I tried to calm down, to sort out details. In my world, the first appearance of great men was because I found a bug in my wife's behavior. A mysterious force spread a strange story, that my wife was a great man, to hide the world's virtual nature. But since the concept was made up, they needed proof. The company started acting strange. When I found them, they misled me to protect information. The online info and manual were for that reason. After figuring this out, I was sure the world did not exist. So I made an important decision. I decided to use death to record the truth of the world. I stood alone on the 18th floor. When I jumped, I felt life fading. Landing did not hurt. My body was numb. I entered a special state. The world grew brighter until I disappeared into white. But the next morning, I woke in my bed. I fell into great terror. I was a bug in a virtual world. I knew bugs could not beat a virtual world. I needed to become a virus, to have a chance to defeat it. Waking up, I declared war on the world. I posted all my thoughts online, but all were blocked. One 404 page after another appeared. I walked the streets, holding a sign. The world is fake. We are fake. People looked at me like I was crazy. Some laughed at me. Only a few understood. I started with simple examples. They began to believe the world was fake, but did not dare the last step, death. Most feared death. It is in our genes, like a last defense of the world. Out of 4,000 people I contacted, only one took the step. The next day, he joined me on the street. To convince more people, we celebrated. I took the first step. The first split of the virus. The hardest split. One split. Bug became virus. Viruses multiply fast. The world could not fight it. But I was not happy long. One day, people in white came to my home. They said I knew too much. I could no longer live in normal society. The world's defense was stricter than I thought. They took me to a special hospital, a psychiatric hospital, different from normal ones. Normal hospitals had blue signs. This one had red. And Mesa 1. Only 2 buildings. I was taken to one. All patient codes were 404, meaning we were errors. The other building had long code strings. For programmers, basic virus code. People there were bugs turned viruses in the system. I was not a virus yet, just a non-standard 404 code. These are my guesses. I did not know details. Doctors like normal humans waited. The lead doctor had no name on badge. He asked basic questions. First, do you think you are human? I hesitated. He marked an X on file. Second, do you think you truly exist? I stayed silent. Maybe I was only code. Maybe not even that. Another X. Third, have you tried to learn the truth? I was alert. I said I was not interested in unknown things. He marked another X. Questions got stranger. He tried to understand my view of the world. We talked 6 hours. I was silent a lot. In the end, almost all questions were marked wrong. When he left, he said my illness was mild. No worry. But his expression was strange. Soon I was locked in a room. Better than home. It had a computer. Surprisingly, internet worked. The browser was old. It accessed a special net, shadow network. Few knew it. Between shadow and normal net was the dark web. This network was darker than dark web. I wrote about my experience there. Doctors came often, disliked what I wrote. Later, they said they would treat me. Treatment was simple, erase and overwrite. They hypnotized me, then implanted suggestions, more complex than normal therapy, because they controlled it. When hypnosis was about to work, I chose suicide. I woke on hospital bed again. My clothes changed from red 404 to black, original virus code. It was self-generated. During correction, my suicide cut power. The antivirus was partly locked in. When computer restarted, It evolved fast, became uncontrollable. I said goodbye to 404. Perfectly became virus. Celebrating victory. Something happened. It showed my guess was wrong. That moment was truly terrifying. I caught a female black bear in the backwoods. He pulled out the bear's claws and teeth. At night, I could hear the bear's cries. One may nend us several one. Months passed or not on. The female bear gave birth to 3 cubs. The cubs looked strange. Especially the hair on their heads. It looked like human hair. My grandfather laughed. He said raising cubs and selling their meat would bring money. Just then, the female bear looked at my grandfather fiercely. Her eyes seemed to understand, but the fierce look lasted only seconds. When my grandfather looked at her, she lowered her head, like she avoided him. My grandmother smiled. She said, when we have money, we can find a good wife for my Uncle Sam. My uncle was born with a disability. He was short, under 1 meter. My uncle was staring at the cubs angrily. He said, kill them all. Grandfather and grandmother were shocked. They looked at each other. My grandmother asked cautiously, Sanami, you on foot? What's wrong? If they annoy you, put the cubs in my and your father's cabin. You won't see them then. I just got paid. Grandfather said strictly, raising the cubs will bring money. We can pay for your treatment. I clenched my fists. I hated the cubs. They were malformed. Look carefully. Their claws and mouths were deformed. My uncle hated deformed things. Grandmother paused. Malformed cubs can still be raised. They can be sold. My uncle stomped angrily. He shouted at grandmother, kill those cubs now. If you don't, I'll take the house. He went to the pen. He grabbed the cubs, threw them outside. The cubs almost died from the fall. Strangely, the mother bear did not attack. She watched my uncle. I saw a smile on her face. The bear smiled like a trick succeeded. Grandmother said Sam is crazy. She picked up a cub. My uncle said they won't live. Better to kill and eat them. He grabbed a cub from me. We struggled. I was scared to help. I stood still. I felt eyes on me. I looked and saw the mother bear watching me. Her eyes were greedy. Drool dripped. I panicked, stepped back. The bear noticed. Being mushin mindful. Her eyes gleamed proudly. My uncle grabbed a cub from grandmother. He crushed it to death, skinned it, threw the meat in a pot. Soon the meat was cooked. A pot full of broth with thick oil. The smell was delicious. I swallowed. I wanted to drink, but dared not say. My uncle ate all. Only bones left. He threw bones into the pen. The bear ate them. Crunching sounded cold. My grandfather stomped. He told Sam to feed bones to the bear. Once the bear tastes meat, it will eat people. We never fed meat before. Even bones. To stop the bear wanting meat, I frowned as a child. Grandpa, why fear? The bear has no claws or teeth. Not bigger than a wild pig. No need to fear. Grandfather was angry at uncle. I saw him furious first time. He grabbed rope from barn, tied uncle, locked him in the west room. Grandmother called villagers to kill the bear. She was shocked. Killing the mother bear. What about the cubs? Grandfather sighed. Better kill them now. They will bring trouble. The bear looked at grandfather. Suddenly vomited bones eaten. Rolled on the ground in pain. I was shocked. Then laughed. Old man. See? The bear can't eat meat. It vomits. Grandfather frowned. He doubted the bear. The bear rolled with back to us. We couldn't see eyes. After a while, it stood, looked at bones, cowered in a corner. Grandmother said better keep it. The bear can't eat meat. Grandfather frowned. He looked carefully, said try fresh meat. Grandmother looked worried. We are poor. No fresh meat all year? Grandfather said kill hens. During the one on mom. Grandmother shocked. We have 2 hens. They lay eggs. Where's your spoon? Grandfather didn't reply. He went to barn, got a knife, killed a hen. The hen bled. He threw it near the bear. The bear sniffed, smelled something bad. The bear vomited again. Grandfather relaxed. Grandmother took the hen away. Such a good hen wasted. Grandfather hung the meat in barn, saved for New Year. Grandmother nodded. She took the hen inside. I went to see uncle, went in the sudden down dayroom. Only I was in yard. I sat on a bench playing. The bear watched the barn. Drool on mouth again. The bear noticed me, turned head, eyes fierce. never looked at me like that before. Only family dared. I ran inside Barnamaturnon. Grandmother cooked. She told me, carefully take cubs to Mother Bear. I picked 2 cubs, carried them to pen, carefully put them inside. Mother Bear came close, sniffed cubs, looked at me. Her eyes were cunning. Like plotting something?